Good day, family and friends. Just want to take a moment to connect with you all. Wish you all a very happy New Year's. I hope your New Year's have started well and that everything is going well for you and that you've been able to review back on 2018, however that year ended for you, and make amends with it in a good way for yourself. So lots of love and blessings to you guys. Like I said, I just want to connect with you guys on a few things here, about a few trips that we have coming up, me and Izzy, and what all that entails. Currently, we just finished our 2 trips here in Egypt, in Cairo, Upper and Lower Egypt regions, and they're just magnificent, very beautiful groups that came out. Just feel very grateful that everything came together so well for these. Few challenges presented, but nothing that didn't stop us. So it was a very beautiful time getting to go to these temples and to these sacred sites and to plug in, to do ceremony, to make new relations, and to see the environment and blessed Holy Land that Egypt is here. So yeah, feeling very grateful for that. After here in Egypt, the next trip we have coming up is South Africa, and that's what I really wanted to connect with everyone about. This trip is going to be an amazing trip. I feel very grateful to be taking even a group there and to have been considered by Linda Tucker, the founder trust owner, Lion Queen, as they call her, of Timbavati and that region there in South Africa. Like I said, I feel grateful that she's allowing us to bring a group out there to the White Lions, an amazing place. I know it's really touched my life. 2 years ago from this April will have been the first time I had got to go there. And just briefly, I'll tell you a story. The White Lions found me in the U.S. When I was doing a stone reading for a woman, and they just showed up on the stone reading. I had never had a reading that was so strong, like the vibration and the energy over the stones was powerful. And then concluded what it was, found out, because this woman had been there, and when I connected with the information she gave me and looked into it more, the more and more I felt pulled by the Lions to come visit. So that was part of our Africa trip 2 years ago when we got to go down there, and that's when we traveled all of Africa from the bottom to the top. And in between that trip is when I made time to go to the White Lions. I actually signed up to go volunteer there on her land, and I just knew I needed to be there. And once I got there and met the White Lions, they touched me in a very powerful way. And then I got to meet Linda Tucker, and she invited me to her 13 Lions Lion-Hearted Ignition course, and again, which was powerful. She invited me to stay the week with her on her land with the White Lions there and to learn this course. So I felt very grateful to have been considered and allowed to stay an extra week there with her and the White Lions to learn what the White Lions had channeled and given to her as far as the 13 Lion-Hearted laws are concerned that she wrote a book about. And again, that was information that she said the Lions had channeled to her. So, and after I left there, I knew I was on a mission to help spread their word, their what their meaning, what they represent in the world. And over the last year and a half, I've stayed in contact with Linda, and in this last year, one of the ladies we met, Jean. Her name is Jean. A beautiful woman who's connected with our medicine and really has really taken to the work that we do. So she's been a big advocate and contributor to the work me and Izzy are doing in our travels. And this year she mentioned that she didn't want to go anywhere else but to the White Lions. And honestly, at that point in time, I had not considered to take a group there. I had thought maybe in the future, but not this soon. So I put it out there, connected with her, and we're making it happen. And I know I've created this post and event, and I'm not so good at keeping up and advertising for it and really pushing for it so much. I do try my best. I know whoever is tuk. I know whoever is brought here, will be here, and so I wanted to take a moment and connect with you all about the schedule. Linda emailed me just the other week with the itinerary and schedule as to what we'll be doing with her and there with Linda on her land and various other spots around there to visit and see as well. So, yeah, very grateful to have been able to stay in good connection with her. She's such a powerful woman, does some good work in the world, especially, her story about how she's helped save and bring back the White Lions to their heartlands there in Timbavati, South Africa. And if you've ever heard of her story, it's quite amazing. She has a neat book out called White Lions, The Mystery of the White Lions, Children of the Sun God, and I believe it's on Kindle for like $1. But it tells her story and the story of the White Lions, and it's just very comparable to like our North American white buffalo and the prophecy around that and the energies around that. These white lions really, if you've ever heard of the goddess Sekhmet in the Egyptian cosmology and story time, Sekhmet is that of truth, bringer of truth. Her story was around dismantling and killing off that which didn't serve the greater good of the world. And it's very similar in the sense of what Sekhmet and these white lions present to the world energetically and prophetically. So, and again, Linda had, her story is amazing, how she worked so hard to get to where she is, about how she was in the fashion industry in the UK, born and raised in South Africa, moved and lived and was working in a corporate job in the fashion industry, modeling industry, and her story about coming back for a visit and to see a friend in Timbavati that was a ranger, and them going out in the middle of the night to see what was going on because they had heard some growling, and the ranger had talked about that it was possibly a lioness giving birth, so they wanted to go scope from a distance, but ended up getting high-centered on a stump out there in the middle of the pride of lions that was giving birth with the lioness there, and how they thought that was it. They couldn't start it, they couldn't move, they were in the middle of an angry pride of lions because they just bombarded their ritual, their ceremony, that birthing ceremony, and then how all of a sudden this woman with a child on her back and hand came walking through the pride of lions up to the vehicle, got in, handed one of the children off to the men who got out of the vehicle, and went and walked out of the Pride of Lions safely and was able to retrieve a vehicle and bring that back and help save them. It was really neat story to hear about how she was saved by who ended up being the woman who ended up saving them. Her name is Maria Kosa, which was the lion queen and medicine woman in that tribe, in that area at that time, and had gotten information through she was doing a bone reading, bone stone reading, kind of like what I do with stone readings, on and when she heard what was going on in the distance and read into it, her reading was telling her that there was a situation and that she had safe passage to go help with it. So that's what she did. And then, about how Linda went back home and just didn't have any answers to that night. And then a couple years later ended up coming back to Timavati, finding Maria Cosa, who was just waiting for her. As she mentions, Maria said, it took you long enough to get back here and to come back to this work. So that's when Maria, she studied under Maria and some other renowned medicine people in South Africa, and ended up taking over where Maria left off with maintaining the lions in that area, being the medicine woman in that area. So yeah, beautiful story. Just thought to share that because I know I've shared that in some of when we've done the Egyptian oil ceremony and traveled, and I've also talked on behalf of the White Lions there. So in this group that we're taking out, I'm hoping to take around 8 to 9 people, no more, just because Linda likes it very intimate, and yeah, I think that's a good number of people to take. And right now, as I mentioned, Jean was the one that wanted for me to help be the bridge for that and bring her there. So she has 3 in her party, and since then, it looks like there might be 3 more possibly coming. So if that's the case, then that would leave around 2 to 3 more spots open for this. So I want to invite whoever that might be called to South Africa to come join us for this beautiful journey. I'm just so excited to be able to return back there. These White Lions mean so much to me, and the energy and love and passion that they bring to this world is strong. And I understand that who needs to be here will be here, and that we'll heed that calling. So I'll go through the itinerary. I don't want to be too long. I'm here in Egypt still, and we got about 3 days left before this Egypt 2 trip ends, and then I will be moving forward, maybe I believe to the Red Sea, and then Petra and Jordan and Jerusalem, and looks like maybe Nepal. So yeah, feeling very thankful and blessed on this journey so far. So alright, so the itinerary for the White Lions, day 1, as she has, is that everyone will arrive at the airport, and she's hoping that everyone will be there by 8 a.m. And usually those long international flights usually leave late at night and get in the morning. So try to make that happen with everyone, to fly in around 8 a.m. to Johannesburg. And so everyone will be flying into Johannesburg. That's the closest international airport to where her and the White Lions are. And once she picks us up, then we'll drive to a guest house through Tom Long Pass, which is a beautiful stretch and region of land that leads into Timavati there. So we'll stay the first night there. And then day 2, we will visit the renowned Adam's calendar, which is the oldest man-made calendar that has been found to date. Predates, as they say, Stonehenge. A lot of these calendars. I've been there. I did go there when I traveled through Africa, and it is a very powerful place. Very electromagnetically. It will spark you, touch you. Very beautiful place. So there's a lot of history around there. A lot of myth and story that surrounds that area. But seems to be the oldest stone calendar to exist on Earth. And it's about a short hike in and out, and there's a waterfall there. Last time I went there, we just kind of hiked out there and camped next to the waterfall, and it was very beautiful. And I got to do a neat connection ceremony, which we'll do there with the stones as well. And then day 3, it will be an expedition walk around some undiscovered stone glyphs that Linda knows where these stone glyphs are. I believe it's around Adam's Calendar. And recently, if you've ever followed Michael Tellinger's work, he has found what is believed to be fossils that he believes were part of a giant race. So, yeah, very interesting, and I'm hoping that we can possibly get Michael Tellinger to come and speak to the group. I'm still working on that. It's a long shot, but he's an amazing man that does some great work in the world too, as well as discovering ancient sites like Adam's Calendar and some other major megalithic sites around there as well. And then recently he's the one that discovered these fossilized bones that he, like I said, believed to be from giants. And day 4, we will visit the 3rd largest canyon in the world, which is Blythe's Canyon. Beautiful canyon, very beautiful canyon. That's the 3rd. First, of course, is Grand Canyon. Second is a canyon in Namibia. I believe it's Fish Canyon or something of the sort. And then the other one, the 3rd one, is Blythe's, which is around Timbavati. And so we'll get to go there and around the river and around its hills and canyon there and see it. And beautiful place. Then that same day, we will finally make our destination to Timbavati, to where the White Lions are, that evening, and have dinner there. And then day 5, we'll be getting to go out to the lands and getting to know the White Lions. And for a few days, most days while we're there, we'll be waking up in the morning at dawn and going to track the lions, meaning going to evaluate them, check up on them, pray with them, meditate with them, connect with them in however way that comes to you. So this is my favorite part, getting in the back of the truck and going out, opening the gate and going out in the land. And so when Linda saved the lions, she has enclosed them, and it's a big piece of land. She has to keep them safe. That's why they're enclosed, because there was a time when there was a white lion that was spotted in that area. The next day, it was gone. You know, these white lions, just to bring in and kill a white lion, you're making around, I think it was $70,000 to $100,000 for one of these white lions. So she has to keep them safe, keep them enclosed for the meantime. But like I said, she has so many acres of land where she lives that they're able to roam and have some freedom there. But she keeps them really safe. So that's day 5, getting to know the white lions and tracking with them at dawn and at dusk. And day 6 again will be going out at dawn and dusk to meet and evaluate with the white lions. And also that day, we will be doing a cultural excursion and immersion to meet and celebrate with the local village kids there. It's a program Linda has put together for some of the local children there called the Star Lion program. So we will go meet with some of the community and kids and get to play with them and connect with them. I got to do this last time I was there. It was one of my favorite parts of getting to go there as well. Day 7, it will be an all-day expedition of traveling and moving through Kruger National Park. So Kruger National Park is like the Yellowstone of South Africa. You ride in there and you get to see just the pristine beauty that Africa is and all of its animals. You get to see the big 5 animals, which the big 5 they consider is the water buffalo, the lion, the leopard, the rhino, and the elephant. And so they're all out there, in African dogs, giraffes. The first time I entered that park, the first thing I seen was a leopard hanging out in the tree. It had made a kill, and the leopards, they stash their kills up in the tree so no other predator can get to it. And there was, I believe to be like a spring box that was hanging from the tree there. It had made the kill, and it looked like it hanged it, and it was just resting from that excursion. So it was really neat. So yeah, I'm very excited to be taking people into Kruger National Park. It's strong land. Day 8, same thing at dawn. We'll be evaluating and working with the white lions, and then we will be hiking around the Sal River to Linda's Crystal Lion, which lies and is on point in reference with the Nilotic Meridian. And if you don't know what the Nilotic Meridian is, where the Sphinx is here in Egypt. If you draw a straight line down from there, I know some of you have heard me talk about this. You could call it, our sacred Mother Earth's spine. It's the epicenter of the Earth. Very important line, energetic line. And so if you draw that line all the way down, Linda's land is on the Nilotic Meridian, and that's also the birthing place of the white lions. So we'll get to go out there, and we'll be doing some connection work there, fire ceremony, and getting to sleep out under the stars there, which is beautiful. And then day 9, we'll be closing prayer with Linda, closing prayer in circle with Linda. Then it's about a 6-hour journey back to Johannesburg. So then we'll go back to Johannesburg, and then we will stay the night there. And those interested, we can go sightseeing around the city of Johannesburg. And then day 10, those leaving that have flights back home will be getting shuttled to their flights. And then also what I'm deciding to do is put on an extra 5 days for this trip, and those that want to join can join me and Izzy in Cape Town, South Africa, which is a short flight. Johannesburg is on the east side of South Africa, and Cape Town's on the west coast of South Africa. And we'll get to go there, and Linda has some connections there. I have some connections there. We'll meet with a man who takes people out to do ceremony, and he knows the land out there very well. We'll get to go to Table Rock. We'll get to do a few ceremonies on the land, beaches there, connect with the land. It's another beautiful place. Cape Town it's the first place I flew into in South Africa and just fell in love with it. Beautiful place. We'll get to do some neat things there, get to see the land and landscape and beaches, and meet a few medicine friends that live in that area. So if you're those that are interested, we can connect about that, and we can all travel there together. So that's the trip, upcoming trip. That's April, and that's exactly 3 months from now. So we'll be starting this, I believe, on the 23rd is what we had planned on the 22nd, but I believe the 23rd. And I didn't know when to initially start this. I thought there was going to be a festival and some other things going on there the time we were going to be there, but that wasn't the case. And so I picked April 22nd, which surprised Linda, because when I told her that date, she was like, why did you decide that date? And I told her just, meditating on it felt right. And she mentioned that that was an important date to her, because that's the day when Maria Kosa, the medicine woman I was talking to you about that helped save her life, had ascended and left the earth. So I thought that was really neat. And I could feel her even welcoming us as well. So, very excited to be bringing a group out there to the White Lions of South Africa. And again, we'll be looking to take a group of 8 to 9 people. It's about half full already. So if you're interested, please contact me about that. The other thing is Linda asks me to screen people, because she just doesn't bring anyone to the White Lions onto her land. that they initially, the spirits have to welcome them. The white lions have to welcome. It's a process to her, so she just doesn't have anybody come on that land. So if you're interested, again, contact me, let me know. We have a few other trips coming up for this year, which I'm excited about. I haven't posted yet, but we'll be doing a Medicine Wheel pilgrimage, which will start in Jackson Hole, in which we'll go sweat there, do sweat, and meet some of my native family out in those parts, and we'll camp there next to the Tetons. And then the next day, I had reached out to a friend that's on the other side of Yellowstone. So Jackson Hole, you can enter from the south, and then we would go through the park, through Yellowstone, stop, see some sights, do some connection with the land there, praying and meditating out there. And then we'll exit from the east side, which is Cody side, and then from there, not far from there, is one of the beautiful women that I know that does crystal healing and works with crystals. And she's an older woman, beautiful woman named Linda, and I had reached out to her about us coming and staying with her, because she has a crystal shop and like a crystal sanctuary after her latest husband passed. For herself, she created this crystal, beautiful crystal sanctuary shop. It's amazing. She has room and space for us, and she's so excited for us to come and be with her, and she'll share some of her wisdom with crystals, and we'll get to have a moment with her. So I'm very excited for that. And then which the next day, where she's at, the Medicine Wheel that we're going to isn't far from where she is, and this Medicine Wheel is in the Bighorn Sheep mountain range park up there in the Bighorn Sheep, and that's in Wyoming. It's beautiful, strong land. The elements out there, especially around this Medicine Wheel, and this Medicine Wheel is the oldest medicine wheel known to be found in our country. The oldest medicine wheel that they have found is in Canada, but this one is not far behind it. And I've been there a few times now, and it's an amazing, strong place. We'll get to go there and connect and sing some songs and do some work around the medicine wheel. So I invite you all to that. I'm thinking usually we've been doing it over the fall equinox, but this time, because it's going to be colder up there if we do it around the fall equinox, I'm deciding to do this in August. So I'll be making the plans and putting the event page out there probably in the next week or so watch out for that. But yeah, I'm excited for that. And then the next trip will be in November to Peru. And I know some of you have made this journey with me, not this last December, but the December before. We took a group out there and worked with a local medicine man there named Wilco, who was born and raised there and was handed down his traditions and ways from his family there. He comes from a family of medicine there in Cusco. So beautiful man, and we'll get to be taking a group there. So the event page for that is made and up, so please look at that. All the information is on there for everyone, and I'm excited to return back to Cusco with the group again to do ceremony. And the beautiful thing about that is we'll get to do ceremony with Wilco, and with what his tradition is there, and getting to go out to the land and some of these beautiful temples to do connection work and ceremony is just, yeah, very super blessed. So look at that if you're interested. We'll be looking to take around 12 people max for that. So